going on, everyone? Here we are in the Caesar studio. How's everyone feeling today? We are casting simultaneously on both YouTube and TikTok today. So hello on both platforms. First time we've ever done the two of these platforms together. We are talking again about Caesar EasyColor DTV. So this is going to be all about what you want to know so far about the EasyColor DTV as I go along with more examples of what you can do with the product. So please, I gotta stress, as we're going along, if you have any questions, feel free to chime in and ask them. I'm here joined with Chloe and Trevor. Say hello.
Hi, hello.
And I'm Joe, in case anyone doesn't know. So yeah, as we go along, please make sure you let us know where you're watching from too. Say hello. We like to keep this interactive. Let us know if you have used EasyColor DTV yet. If you're watching this right now, it's already been out for over 2 weeks. I know that it's been chaotic. It might have been a little bit difficult to get the product because your authorized Caesar distributor may have already been on back order with it. But please be patient. It's still coming out. We're making sure we ship it every day to them, so you will get your hands on it. So I definitely want to know if you've used it already, what projects you're doing with it, what maybe some things you're experiencing with it that you're unsure of. I want to make sure that we have the best experience for you with this product that we can get. So, that being said, who do we got watching?
Already some great questions.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we have Michael on YouTube who's asking, can DTV be contour cut?
Oh, that's, Michael, you came to the right spot because I'm going to be going over the contour cut. So, to answer your question, yes, it can be contour cut.
Ruthie is joining us. She just says, awesomeness. I agree. Fancy Looks on YouTube says, interesting new vinyl. Can it be used with the normal water-based inks?
So it's made, right now we're using it with just inkjet desktop printers. So I'm going to start there because I know there's going to be a lot of questions about different printers, different ink sets. We're still testing this product out ourselves. We're learning new stuff in its full capacity every single day. That's just the nature of this material. There are so many different printer manufacturers out there. There's so many different types of inks out there. So we kind of need to know your experience for our research as well. Right now, so far, what we've tested and had great success with is just your home desktop printer that you just use to print regular paper on, regular documents on. That has been working 100% of the time. A lot of questions and confusion with sublimation. I hope to go over that in a different lesson, but my quick answer on that is to avoid using EasyColor DTV on a sublimation printer. So just to nip that in the bud, tell your friends, just avoid using EasyColor with sublimation. I will go over that later on. So if it's water-based ink, I gotta say it probably will work. You gotta test it out. I'm just gonna be completely honest about that. Test that out. In the beginning, we had a lot of customers, I'm sure there's probably some watching right now, that have a laser printer. In the beginning, we didn't have a whole lot of research with laser printers, but so far, in the last 2 weeks, we have seen a lot of success with the EasyColor and laser printers. So, based on what we've gotten back from people that sell laser printers, it does work. So if you have one, we just have to recommend and advise testing it out first before, to try it out and see how it works for you, how it works with your printer. I certainly don't want any equipment damaged or anything, but I want to make sure that you're getting the most success on the wash end of it is where it's important. So
Joanne Carey in chat on YouTube says, I want to get some of this. It's sold out all over town. When will it be available?
So if you have already gone to your authorized Caesar distributor and they're on back order, most of them are placing back order orders. So they will put you in a queue to when they get it back into their stock, they can get it to you and you'll stay in it. So I would inquire with them. If you haven't gotten to an authorized Caesar distributor, you don't know where one is closest to you, please reach out to us at info@caesarna.com. That's email address, info@caesarna.com. That is going to be where we can let you know based on your location. That's where we'll go first, is give you a distributor nearest you in your location that has DTV or the EasyColor DTV and is also authorized with us. We want to make sure you're getting the actual Caesar product and you aren't getting a fake product under the name of Caesar. So that's why we want to make sure that you communicate with us directly on that. So we do apologize. This product has been an absolute game changer as we expected, and we're trying to keep up with the demand and make enough of it. So it's kind of a good thing to have, but we do apologize. We are cruising along with it. So great, awesome.
Another question, what does DTV stand for?
There we go. We're going to get it. Tell your friends. DTV stands for Direct to Vinyl. Direct to Vinyl. So HTV is heat transfer vinyl. Easy PSV is easy pressure sensitive vinyl. So DTV is direct to vinyl, which is pretty synonymous. We're making it synonymous with EasyColor, our product. Why? I'm going to get into the lesson here. Again, this is a product that's used on your inkjet printer. So it looks like a piece of paper, and you may be familiar with the other transfer papers on the market. This is an actual vinyl, though. It's not a paper. It's not a transfer paper. So that's why direct to vinyl is also kind of important, because the vinyl side of it, for those that have used inkjet transfer papers in the past, you know that those can be quite finicky. You know that they are very temperamental, especially when it comes to washing, how it acts on the garment. This is a vinyl, and the longevity of it is a lot different than what is currently on the market. So to go right off the rip, for the people that are asking the question for themselves, how does it last in the wash? We have done a ton of different tests internally with the different inkjet printers we have, and we've gotten to about 15 to 20 plus washes until we saw slight variance from the original print. So those that have used other inkjet printers on the or inkjet transfer papers on the market, you know that those might start fading after 3 to 5 washes. So this is a completely different animal. And the other side of it to remember for those folks, this one product works for both dark and light garments. So you don't need to get 2 different products in order to use the EasyColor DTV on any color garment you are working with. So it's not 2 different products for that. So that it is very important to know it's one and done product. So yeah, with that being said, any questions over those topics?
I'm looking here. There's a lot. I gotta say hi to some people.
Okay, we'll give some shout outs.
Yeah, hello Robin from Jacksonville, Florida. Hello Joanne from Glendora, California.
Hello.
Hello Lorraine. They say hi Joe, Chloe, and Trevor. Thank you all for being here for us today. With a lot of flower emojis.
Thank you.
Lorraine is also watching from hot California, I bet.
As I'm wearing a hoodie, I want to explain that our studio is freezing cold. So it is hot here in Michigan, which is great. No, awesome. Thank you. Anyone on TikTok?
Yes, Enigmatic Studio says, just received my package from winning the drawing last week.
Oh,
Excited to try it."
congratulations. Yeah.
Sorry.
We did, in case you guys missed, you can actually watch the video. It's up on our YouTube, but we did a big giveaway. One of our biggest giveaways when we launched this product. So congratulations. That was a fun giveaway.
We got some more people in the comments. Mama Bear says, hey y'all from East Texas. New to this venture. I'm learning so much.
Awesome.
And the Musical Mindset says, late to the party. Oh, they have a question.
Okay.
So the DTV is used with a regular inkjet?
Yes.
And no sublimation.
And
they
no
asked
sublimation.
if they need sublimation printer.
No. Not for EasyColor DTV. So EasyColor, don't use sublimation. I don't want to confuse you, but we have the product Easy Subli. Totally different product line. Again, I'll probably do a live or I'll do a class comparing those two. Different topic, but for EasyColor, try to avoid using sublimation. The reason why you may have success on your initial print with sublimation, it doesn't last as long with the washing side of it. So that's why we say no. If you're doing it and you want to use it for something you're not going to wash, I'm going to just show you some examples we've done already with EasyColor, but a little picture here, all framed up. That's actually EasyColor printed and pressed onto a reverse canvas that we did as a project. Here's another one we did on canvas with the EasyColor. These projects are not going to be washed, so you could print it essentially on your sublimation printer if you wanted to. My only worry is if you put it on something that was going to be heat pressed, like a garment, and then you were going to wash it, it's not going to last with sublimation inks. So stick with inkjet and it'll be all good. Cool.
Great. Another interesting question. Let me find it. Sorry, there's a lot here. I got it. How does the EasyColor DTV absorb the ink and make it permanent? I don't know if that's a...
So basically the way the product is a porous product, it's going to hold onto the material or hold onto the ink. It's going to be fully cured when you heat press it, but just because of the nature of the ink, it's just going to inevitably sort of fade over time. It's not sublimation. So sublimation, there's permanency to it when it goes onto certain fabrics like polyester. But this, being the nature of the ink set and how the product has it, the heat will actually bond it into the material. So there is longevity that way, opposed to, again, other inkjet papers, transfer papers, where the material doesn't absorb the ink the same way that it is on this material. So it's a great technical question, but again, all ink sets are slightly different as well. Printers are different. Your print profiles are different, which is something I want to get into in a little bit too.
Another question about washing. Should items be washed inside out like normal recommendations?
Wash inside out is a preference thing. You can. It's not a mandatory thing. And this goes with all our heat transfer vinyls, just wash in a normal cycle. Don't wash with high heat. Don't wash with industrial strength liquid or industrial strength detergent. Don't use liquid fabric softener. Don't use bleach. If you just use regular detergent, regular wash cycles, either hot or cold water, as long as it's not overly hot. Drying, you can hang dry to preserve finishes, but if you dry, try to avoid using high dryer temperatures, and then you'll be fine. I mean, again, I use it personally all the time. I wash all my stuff in normal cycles. The other great thing about this product versus transfer papers that are out there, it doesn't crack. So it's not cracking on the garment over time the same that it does with the transfer papers. And once you get it on the garment, you'll really see how it feels, how it stretches with the material that you're pressing on. So yeah, that's basically how I would recommend laundering any of our products.
Another interesting question, how long does it take to dry after printing?
It actually will dry right away. The only thing, now I'll kind of get into some of this side with the printing options. This product is literally, there isn't a print profile necessarily for it. You're printing it to your inkjet desktop printer just like you would print a piece of paper. You basically have a few settings, right? You have standard, high quality. You have plain paper, you have photo paper. They're all just kind of a preference thing. Just know, when you go high quality and when you go photo quality or photo paper, it's going to put down more ink. So that is going to tell the printer to lay down more ink which it'll do on the EasyColor, but it may cause it to bleed a little bit, which will cause your image to look a little saturated. It might not be damp. It's pretty much dry as soon as it's down on the paper. The only problem that you may run into is if you needed to mask your transfer, which I'm going to get into. So I'm going to say it, I'll probably have to say it again through this. If you have to mask your transfer with the DTV Easy Mask, which is what I'll be using, allow your print to sit overnight. So after you print it, after you cut it, or even if you wanted to wait to cut it, let it sit overnight until you come back and mask it. This allows that oversaturation to kind of gas out, making it easy to find that bond between the transfer and the mask. So, yep, great question though.
We have some questions over on TikTok.
Okay.
Let me find them. Ramon asks, oh, nope, that was the second one. He did say that he's been watching Caesar and Joe for years.
Oh, awesome.
Since the product is great and Joe is a legend. But he also has a question. He said he was having trouble masking.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to come on here and show you guys, in case you haven't seen the last couple videos I've done live, I masked. I masked live to show you guys it does work. And I think a lot of people have found their way of doing it that works cohesively with them. We can't have an exact science to this because all prints are going to be a little bit different. So heavy saturated colors, this goes to everybody. When you're using darker colors in your print, so if you're using black, different shades of black, if you're using reds, different shades of reds, the blues, the purples, like richer colors are going to always be heavy saturated colors. So if you have an image like this that's very heavy saturated between oranges and black, this is going to be a little bit more arduous to try to get the mask to properly stick. That's why I suggest, and I'm telling you now, try waiting overnight. That's going to be the first thing I'm going to recommend. The other thing I need to stress as well, for those that are contour cutting and using mask, this product is extremely thin. It's very, very thin. So when you go and you cut it on your vinyl cutter, if your force on your vinyl cutter is too great, you could cause the edges of your transfer to actually pierce into the groove of your cut line. So if you're cutting and you're like, oh yeah, cut fine, it didn't cut all the way through, it weeded fine, it doesn't mean that because this product's so thin, the edges didn't get pinched into the backing of your EasyColor. So when you do your test cuts, which I always recommend, and make sure you dial it in before you do your EasyColor, when you weed out your test cut, really look at the score mark on the backing of the EasyColor. If you notice, if you took a weeder and ran it across the groove of the test cut, if you could really feel the groove lines, you're kind of probably too deep. You could actually dial that back. It doesn't take a whole lot because this product's so thin. So it doesn't take a lot of pressure. It doesn't take a lot of force. You can slow your speed down. You could make sure you have a good blade, because I know that's another thing people don't consider. If you have a bad blade, your cut's going to be bad as well. These are all maintenance things to make sure you do ahead of time, and then your masking should be a lot nicer. Again, I mean, if we're doing it, I think we've gotten a lot of customers that have had great success, no problem, but I'm also very aware that masking can kind of be a little bit of a task for some people. So if you follow those guidelines, wait overnight for heavy saturation, and also make sure you do test your cut, you should be perfectly fine. I hope that helps.
Yes, Ramon said that sounds like the problem he was having.
Okay.
And we have a few more questions over here.
Absolutely.
Jane Merck said, where can I purchase this?
Great question. We'll keep hammering the info@caesarna.com. So just email us. So you'll be emailing us so it's info@caesarna.com, SISERNA.com, and we will let you know. Just ask us, where is my authorized Caesar distributor nearest me, or we'll probably ask you where you're located. If you let us know where you're located, we can get right to letting you know who's the closest to you. Again, please be patient. Our distributors are trying to get their back orders all fixed. It's coming along. It'll get out there. This isn't going anywhere, so we're here to just make sure you're ready to use it when you get your hands on it. So, awesome.
Another question. Miss Cindy asked, do you have to use the Cricut or Silhouette to cut it out?
You do not. If you have a one solid piece and it's a simple shape, case in point, I just did this on a live, but this is one solid piece of the EasyColor. I used a pair of scissors. So if you don't have a vinyl cutter, you can hand cut, but if you have a very detailed cut, it's probably difficult to cut without a vinyl cutter. Now, if you don't have a Silhouette or a Cricut, there's a bunch of different vinyl cutters, but does the vinyl cutter have an optical eye? So basically, you have to know if the vinyl cutter you have at home that isn't a Cricut or Silhouette, can it do contour cuts? Not all of them can. So you need to make sure that it is one that can do it. Otherwise, you have to use scissors or an X-Acto knife, or invest in another vinyl cutter. But it is important to know that whether or not that vinyl cutter can use an optical eye to do the detailed contour cuts. So yeah, we've been really showing people, like, if you have simple shapes, you don't have a vinyl cutter, you want to use EasyColor, like what I just showed you on the shirts and a bunch of the other examples we have here, a pair of scissors, and even if you don't have a heat press, I'm going to be pressing on the Caesar Craft Heat Press today, but if you don't have one of those and you have a home iron at home, you can use the EasyColor. So that's all it takes, and you can do full colors. It just blows my mind. I've been in this industry so long, so to be able to do this with minimal cost is incredible. So yeah, I hope that answers the question. I'm gonna get into what I have here, which is two different routes, both cut contour, or they were both contour cut on a Silhouette. One of which doesn't require a mask, one of which is going to require a mask. I'm going to start with the solid piece that I have here. Is one solid piece. If it is a one solid piece that you're using, you don't need to mask it. You can simply peel it off the backing, lay it on the garment, and press it. And that's what we'll do today. But I had to contour cut this. So in Silhouette Studio, the way the registration works, these registration marks get set up on my sheet. And this is all done in the software in Silhouette Studio. So I set that up, I sized it to where I want it to be. Then from Silhouette Studio, I sent it to the printer. So I printed it, made sure it was printed with these registration marks, very important. Then once it was printed, I waited overnight, even though I wasn't masking it. But I waited, I went back to my Silhouette, made sure my cut was to the correct downforce speed, which we have all that on our website, CaesarNA.com. Look up EasyColor. We have our recommended cut settings on our website. We also have an app you can download on your phone for free. Just Caesar HTV in your App Store or Google Play. We have all this information right at your fingertips if you want to know where the cut settings are for any of our products. But they're recommendations. So your cutter is different than what we used. So make sure you do a test cut. Make sure you do maintenance. Please, it's so important. So yeah, I dialed that in. I made sure that my cut was good. Now, the next step is weeding. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to back up just to show people even the beginning step, loading the EasyColor into your cutter. I've had a couple questions because this just popped in my mind. what side goes on the printer? What side goes down? This is obviously the side that prints. This side is the side that goes in the back. I know it's hard to see because they both look white. But depending if your printer is a back loader, so does it go in the back of the printer and print out like this? Or does it go inside a drawer and a bottom feeder that goes like this? So there's two different ways you'll have to load your printer up. If you don't know at home, if you don't know what side goes that gets printed on, I've been telling people just take a weeder, pierce the corner gently of your EasyColor, and just lift it up. If it's this side that lifts up and moves, that's the EasyColor. Can you see that? So if that's the case, I would put that back down, and this is the side I'm going to print on. If I tried to do that on the back side, I'm not going to pierce through this backing. I'll know that that's the backing. I hope that makes sense. Just in case you needed to know what side gets printed on, I don't know what side is what. Just pierce the corner, you'll be good to go. You'll know what side goes into the printer. All right. Now I'm going to weed this. I already pierced the corner. I gave myself a bleed, and I'll show you this on the excess material. So you can see that on my print, I gave my print a bleed. This allows the cutter to have a little wiggle room in case it messes up or slips. This way I have a clean black contour all the way around my image just like I wanted it to. So you have to set all this up in your software that you're cutting with. So this is on you to kind of get to know and familiarize the program you're using at home or with your business. So that's all waste. Obviously I used the whole sheet, so I didn't actually waste, that was just the excess. Now, again, I'm going to show you two different examples. This is a black 100% cotton, blue 100% cotton, light or dark. Doesn't matter, all the same material. So I'm going to use a heat press today. I'm set to 310 degrees. I'm going to load it this way because my image is longer than it is width-wise. So this is a 9x12 heat press. This is the Caesar Craft heat press in case anyone's ever curious about it. It is available in Michael's stores. All right. So you want to be at about a medium to firm pressure, which as you can tell, this is way too light. So although it will press, you want to make sure you're pressing down with some force. So that might be a little too high. Perfect. All right. Now, could I mask this? Yes. Do I need to mask this? No. All I'm going to do is peel this whole piece off carefully because it is a thin material, so you don't want to stretch it out too much, so you can just carefully peel this off off the backing. And you'll see the backing, that white backing, is the adhesive side, so I know where to lay it down. Now you're looking at that and going, it's really curling up. How do you get that flat? Here's a fun little trick. What you're going to do, you're going to heat up the surface area that you're going to be pressing on. So just, even if you're using a home iron, you could just iron that out. But now, as you can see, when I lay this down onto the shirt, you can actually see it unfold. So the heat will actually relax my image. So I don't need to worry about whether it's curling up or whatever. Like, put it under the heat like that, and you'll see it relax. So I have my image on here. Now, I do need a cover sheet. Here's a fun part where you guys get to set how you want that finish to look. You have two routes to go, and these are interchangeable routes, so it's not permanent. If you use a Teflon sheet or a non-stick cover sheet, this will make that finish look glossy. If you use a piece of parchment paper, just regular parchment paper, butcher paper, without the wax. Don't use anything with wax. Just regular parchment type paper. This will make your finish matte. I do this on all my lives. First person that chooses the destiny of this one. Do I go glossy? Do I go matte? First person to comment gets the results. What do we got? Glossy, matte.
I'm waiting on it too.
I know it's
Glossy.
Glossy.
Okay.
All right. So remember, this is interchangeable. I'm going to go with the nonstick cover sheet on this. So let's get a close-up because I do this every time. Look at how it looks right now. Just look at the colors. Look at the finish right now. Okay, we got a good look. I'm going to put the cover sheet directly on top of it. Press this for 15 seconds. That's all it takes. I think I had this set for 10 seconds, but I'll go the extra 5. Good. All right, now check this reveal. You guys remember what that looked like? Look at that. I'll pull it out.
Yeah, let's pull it out.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. So night and day difference. So not only do you see the gloss, I know you can see the gloss, I also was trying to make sure you guys paid attention to the actual colors. The colors, good thing I have a second print here.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
I caught the light there, so you can see that.
Yeah.
But just to show you a side-by-side comparison to what the colors look when you originally print to what the heat does to the colors when it comes out. So another thing to remember is your print may look duller than the actual finished product. So the finished product is a lot richer. The colors come and pop out. Now, this is glossy. You may look at it and go, should have made it matte. Can you change it? Let's give it a shot.
While you're doing that, where did you get this image? Someone in the comments wants to know.
I do believe it was an Adobe stock image.
There we go.
But great question. All right, so I put parchment paper over it, right? We were glossy, put parchment paper over it. I'm gonna hit it for that 5 seconds. And now look at it. It's matte, folks. I know it's hard to see on camera, but it's definitely not that glossy finish that it was. So you can flip-flop even after you do that. And even if you wanted to change it back, you do the same thing. If you've washed it a few times, you want to make the decision down the road. Just put it back on your heat press and do the same thing for a couple seconds. So, any questions on this part?
Someone wants the description of how it feels, the hand.
Oh, check it out. So, super stretchy, super soft. I'll try to give this one a stretch. Ideally, you don't want to stretch things right after it comes off a heat press ever, but there you go, folks. That's me stretching it out. Look at that. Is that not cool? I mean, you guys try to do that. Come on. I'm tired, guys. But there it is. I just stretch this out. Then you're like, Joe, now you just stretch the shirt. Now the image is taking shape of this. Well, you know what you can do? Throw it back onto the heat press. Oh, we got a little warped looking pumpkin witch thing. I'm going to go back, press it for a few more seconds with the same finish that you wanted, which is parchment paper. And now we're back to normal. See that? Great question, but feels awesome. That's all I gotta say. Like this many colors for how the material lays on the fabric. This is very important for people to remember this. Now you might be familiar with the other Caesar products. Like on this hoodie I have glow in the dark, Easy Weed, which is about 95 microns. This product is technically 100 microns, so you would think it's thicker, but it actually melts into the fabric. So instead of sitting at the surface of your garment, it actually goes into the fabric that you're applying on, making it a lot softer and stretchier. So if you're using just 100% cotton, if you're using polyester, if you're using blends, that's how it's going to react with that.
Cool. I think someone, Jerry in chat wants to know, does it feel more vinyl? I guess how it feels in comparison to, like, say, Easy Weed, for example.
No, Easy Weed would feel more vinyl than this for what you can do, for sure. It's I can't articulate it, right? Like, it's hard to say how does it feel in
It's
words.
hard to describe.
It's all kind of subjective, but I got to tell you, if you
it's
put
soft.
this many colors, even screen print, okay? I know that's sometimes what people are alluding to with these questions. Is like, okay, well, screen print, you know, it feels very flush to the garment. If you did this many colors with screen print, it would probably feel thicker. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like, for the full capacity of as many colors as you can print, because you got to remember, guys, this is printing. So you can print a photo. You can't do that with screen printing. So you can't set up 9,000 screens in order to get all the colors that are in a photo. You can print that right out on your printer and have gradients, no real scale with your color gamut, and have a possibility of putting down endless amounts of color without it getting thicker with each layer of ink that has to get put on top of it. So by comparison to anything else like that, like, the feel is incredible. It really is. You got to try it out for yourself, though.
Someone asked on the note of the feel, does it feel similar to S-print?
It's almost thinner.
Bam.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's almost a thinner feel. It's comparable if you know S-print, which is for our large format printers. But yeah, it's very impressive for an inkjet inkjet material. Yeah, the feel is incredible. And again, as you saw, no cracking, no all that fun stuff. All right, awesome. I'm going to go into the masking side of it, okay? Now, you heard me say it here. One solid piece, don't need to worry about masking. You use that as your own discretion. Now, if you have an image that's multiple pieces, you have to be able to get that whole transfer off the backing onto the garment. You're going to have to use a mask. Otherwise, you have to peel it and stick it and hope it all lines up exactly, and no one wants to do that. So, same as the last one, I'm going to weed out my excess material. And same as the last one, as you can see, I gave myself a little bleed, even if I got a little bit of lifting here. It's all right. That's why you got to just be careful, make sure your cuts are good. As you can see, I have sharp corners, which those that know vinyl cutting can be difficult sometimes. It is a static backing, so it's not, if you're used to like Easy Weed that has a sticky backing, it doesn't lay right back down. So you want to make sure your cut is good, because if it lifts up, it doesn't lay down as nicely. So this is an example of something that would have to be masked. It's got multiple pieces. Now, technically, could I take each letter off and lay it down and hope it lines up? Yes, but I don't want to do that. I want to get it all off at one time. So this is where you're going to use the Caesar TTD Easy Mask. This print has been overnight. We printed this yesterday, and this has been sitting there. We recommend, because of this color sequence and the amount of dark, rich colors in it, that we allowed it enough time to gas the ink out. This is going to make that bond, hopefully, work out correctly. So I have the mask. I prefer to use gravity on my side. Some people like to lay it down on top of that. I like to lay with the adhesive side facing down and just roll. I'm going to roll this way because that one piece. All right. So even if I had a little boo-boo there, I'll fix that. All right, so you want to get a squeegee, create a bond, Apply some pressure. This is also what I mentioned earlier, making sure that your cut isn't too deep. Because if your cut is into the backing of these groove lines, it might be difficult. See, so we have a little bit of that. This may have gone a little bit too on the heavier side for our cut, or we didn't wait too long. So you can create a little bit more of a bond on that. And sometimes it might take you a couple seconds, and if you need to peel it off with the weeder, that's completely fine too, just to get that guiding going.
And then one more time, I've seen in the comments, where can we purchase this? You can email us at info@c0na.com. We'll connect you to a distributor.
Absolutely. Also, make sure you store your mask away from high heat, because your mask, if you use it around high heat, or if you have a lot of moisture or humidity in the air, it will cause it to weaken the adhesive side of it. So as you can see, guys, I mean, just like some of you that may have dealt with it, it does happen. We just have to kind of keep figuring out the best route on what we're going to do for the waiting period and on what profile you use. But it does work. And even if some of it looks like it's rippled up, we're heat pressing it. So now the next thing we're going to do is set up our garment.
I have one quick question. It's actually an interesting one.
Sure.
Can we set/dry the ink with our heat press?
You can, but my only fear is that you end up cooking the adhesive. So if you cook the adhesive to the backing, because of the high heat, it will be difficult for it to peel off. So if you give yourself a little bit of a beat, I recommend just doing it with just time, letting it sit overnight. It will work. It just might take a little bit more finessing on that end. Okay. All right, so I have mask on this. So I can't really pick my finish just yet. The mask is going to cause it to be semi-gloss. So if I want to change the finish, I have to go back and press it with the carrier off of it. So I'm going to tack this down for about the 10 seconds, and then you guys determine if we want to keep it glossy or we make it matte. As you saw, I know there was some apprehension. You know, it wasn't laying down flush, but the heat press will flatten out your area, so you don't need to be worried about it being completely flat. It does do what it's supposed to. But this is the final result. Should I make it matte or keep it glossy? I can get it glossier with the Teflon sheet, but what are we seeing?
I saw matte.
Matte? All right, let's get back to it. I'm a bit more of a matte guy, but
People on TikTok are much quicker to the draw. They're fast with it.
you guys are doing it right. All right, so I have the parchment paper for the matte finish. I'm just going to press this for about 5 seconds. And peel that off. And now I have a matte finish. Check that out. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, looks great.
Sweet.
Lots of love.
Again, doesn't matter. Dark, stretchy, light, stretchy. All the stuff we love to have in our products. Full color opportunity. You can do full color. So if you're doing it for fun, you have a business that you're running, you have designs, logos, full colors, or if you just want to do photos. Some people just want to print out photos for memories, for gifts. I know that school started. I just wanted to get in the Halloween spirit so that you guys can start thinking of stuff now. Another thing I want to mention that is incredible about the EasyColor product and other Caesar products, you can mix and match. So if you want to use EasyColor full color images with other Caesar heat transfer vinyls, so say you saw, you were like, well, Jason needs to look glittery. You could use Caesar glitter and you could add decorative things to them. You can mix and match, and other products that are layerable, you can lay EasyColor on top of them. So EasyWeed, everyone knows EasyWeed, or EasyWeed Glow in the Dark. You could lay a full color image on top of that because it is a layerable product. So it's so versatile. I know I can't scratch the surface really. I just wanted to give you guys another overview. I plan on doing much more of these to talk about it and hopefully answer some of your guys' questions and to show you that even the professionals don't always have an exact experience. I know a lot of people think it's all, they go to Trev and say, that's movie magic. You're doing your editing to make it look like it's one. I'm showing you live. This is what we experience with. They don't, sometimes it doesn't always work out right. But there is a way to remedy it. It isn't a complete disaster. So I want to make sure that you guys have the best experience with any of our products, but first and foremost for this lesson, EasyColor. So any questions on what we just showed today?
What's the pressure and the heat on the home iron? I think that's what they're asking.
The pressure is going to be on you. So every person is a little bit different, right? So you still want to make sure you're applying a medium to firm pressure. You want to make sure it's got some good pressure. Your temperature is going to be at probably close to the cotton linen setting. We do have recommended application instructions for all of our products, including the EasyColor, on our website, caesarna.com, if you want to go and see what that's like.
We had some questions earlier about preferences for inkjet printers. Is there any particular type?
Dealer's choice. We internally have worked with, we've been using Epson, HP, Canon, what else do we have in here?
Epson, HP, Canon.
I mean, we're trying to show them all fairly in all of our videos. I hope you guys are staying up on what we're doing. If you're not on our YouTube channel, please subscribe. We keep coming out with new stuff lately. Over on TikTok, as you're watching this too, please make sure you're hitting that thumbs up, or what's the button?
On TikTok, it's likes.
It's
tap,
like,
tap, tap.
Yeah, but follow us too.
Oh, follow us.
We'll be doing more of this kind of stuff. So if you're watching, make sure you hit the follow button too. We have a bunch of content coming out showing all the different printers in action, different projects. So just try to stay up on that. But yeah, any printer, any desktop printer is going to work for you.
Mm-hmm. Someone's asking again, what's the email information on where to buy it? I'm displaying it right now.
And it's coming up right now. info@caesarna.com. For those that are on TikTok that still are whoa, that's how you say their name? Yes, Caesar, SISERNA.com. That is going to be the email you reach out to us at, and we will let you know who, because we don't sell direct, for those that are still new to that. Us at Caesar, we're the manufacturer. We don't sell these products direct, so unfortunately, we're not going to sell to you. We don't give out to you. So, but we want to make sure you get your hands on some. So we have our authorized dealers. So that's why we want to make sure that you're getting the legitimate Caesar product from the correct sources. So please reach out to us about that.
Another question. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Just really quick. Looks like someone in the comments is looking out for a YouTube video. They're wanting a YouTube video on DTV.
Well, this will be up on YouTube. So if you want to go back and watch this video and see what we did, if you're just tuning in, this is living up on YouTube. We have a lot of YouTube stuff coming down the pipeline. So please make sure you subscribe. And if there's a topic specifically you want me to do a class on, like this again, regarding EasyColor, leave it in the comments. Let me know if there's something you really want to see. We're going to be working on stuff on setting up files in the softwares. We're going to be all sorts of stuff. Can't even begin.
I can answer this. Can we layer glitter on top of DTV? Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
What type of mask? A TTD Easy Mask.
Yes.
Or I know we say it very fast sometimes, but it's
TTD.
TTD. That's a three-letter acronym, and then Easy Mask. I get confused about this stuff too.
Yeah.
Someone's shouting out Pro World.
Yep. I just did a live with them. We've done a lot of content. If you're not on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, you don't follow us, Caesar North America, we're doing stuff in there. We have a great group over on our Facebook where you can ask questions directly to us and your peers, and you can get answers right there. So join our Facebook group. It's just Caesar North America support group. We're on Instagram. We do lives on Instagram every Thursday. Lily does lives. A lot of the focus has been on EasyColor lately, obviously. So we don't plan on stopping the content. So make sure you try to stay up on what we're doing, and we will definitely, hopefully, cater to you.
Raquel in chat, they like your Scorpio hoodie.
I got a few comments on the Scorpio
Thank
hoodie
you.
too.
I literally put it on 5 minutes before we went live because it was freezing in this. But now that I'm standing by this heat press, I'm burning up.
So what size do these EasyColor sheets come in?
Yes. As of right now, they're 8.4 by 11 size sheets. So this is the size sheet that they're available in right now. We hope that in the future we have different dimensions, but we're just starting with something just to see how it goes, and then hopefully we can get a better gauge. Your feedback is always welcome. Let us know what would work best with sizes, but again, we can't cater to everything with that side of it, dimensions, but we hope to have other sizes in the future.
Do you need a new piece of mask for every print?
That's another great question. You have to use your discretion. If your mask, after you do the masking on the print, doesn't pull ink or leave residue, then you could probably use it again. But if your mask has residue from the ink of your inkjet, say you use high quality print may cause some of that to leave some remnants onto it. I wouldn't suggest using it again because you wouldn't want to ruin your next print. So you kind of have to use your own discretion, but if it works out and it's clean mask, you could use it again. But just know, every time you use your mask, you weaken the adhesive on it. So if you've used it already once or twice, that heat weakens the adhesive. So it's going to make it harder to mask later down the line.
We have a question. Does the EasyColor DTV come with the mask or purchase the mask separately?
That is going to be with the authorized Caesar distributor that you go to. I can't answer that necessarily because it's at each individual distributor's discretion. I assume they're going to be showing that they go together. But again, if you're just doing images, if you're doing one solid pieces, you don't need to get the mask, so save some bucks on that if you know what you're going to do.
More questions about washability.
Sure.
They just want to know how long it lasts.
Our testing has been 20 plus washes till we started seeing some variants from the original one. So.
And that's industry standard for life of the garment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, in comparison to things that are on the market that work with inkjet, this is kind of completely excelled for the longevity of it. So, awesome. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. I appreciate everyone. We'll come back and keep asking the questions. This video will be up on our YouTube channel if you want to replay. I know if you're on TikTok, It disappears after this if you're just watching. On our YouTube channel, just Caesar North America, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're following on our social medias. I want to hear from you. I want to see the projects you're doing with EasyColor DTV. As I sign out, keep commenting the projects you may have already done with EasyColor, what you plan to do. This really helps us, especially for future classes. I hope this video helped. I hope it helped get you motivated and confident to use the EasyColor. So I really do appreciate all the time you guys took today. And thank you so much. This has been a blast. We'll talk to you all very soon.